David is in studio with our go-to lawyer to answer some of those questions. I'm not sure what she was trying to achieve with that line of questioning yesterday, but pretty interesting.
Josh, there was a bit of a dramatic back and forth yesterday with that witness.
Yes, definitely. So, Lori is getting a lot of flack online for the type of questioning that she did with Nancy. Now, I'll tell you, Lori is asking the same exact questions that any defense attorney would ask in the same situation. The problem is that she's representing herself. And so she seems like she's bickering or she's picking on the witness. But in reality, those are the exact type of questions that a defense attorney would ask to really try to show the credibility issues with the witness.
And Josh, we asked this question last night to our viewers. We went through some of these responses last hour. Now we want to go through some questions to have you answer about the trial. This was posted last night. We had some interesting responses that we figured you could chime in on. This one right here asked, this is a lot of responses we're getting, Josh. Why is the state of Arizona even giving her a chance to represent herself when she's already been convicted of killing her children, Josh? What do you say to something like that? We see that all too often online.
Sure. So jury trials in the criminal justice system, it's more than about just prison time. It's about justice, accountability, and closure. And in this case, and not only that, but in this case, Lori Vallow has already been convicted of murder in Idaho, but the case is on appeal. So there's a chance, probably a small chance, that the case will be overturned and she'll be released. So a conviction in this case protects the Idaho verdict, just in case the Idaho appellate court overturns the case. Now, also, in Arizona, we have an outstanding Bill of Rights for victims, and that allows victims to have their day in court. And allowing this case to proceed the way it is, it's sending a powerful message to other victims out there that you're going to have your day in court.
Another question we are receiving online, when will the prosecutor get to question her? So that's something that's brought up. And also another question we're seeing too, we know Lori's representing herself. What would happen if she was on her own stand? She wouldn't question herself, would she, Josh?
Well, there are two different scenarios when Lori has what's called her case in chief. So once the prosecution is done with her case, she'll rest. She'll say, that the prosecutor, rests her case. And then it's Lori's turn to have her day in court and to present her evidence. Now, when she takes the witness stand, which she probably will, she can do one of two things. She can either have one of her advisory counsels, and she has two, ask her questions on direct examination, and then the prosecutor would have an opportunity to cross-examine her, and then her advisory counsel would have one last opportunity to ask her some direct examination questions. But there's also another technique where Lori Vallow could do a narrative where she doesn't have anybody ask her questions whatsoever, and she can literally stand before a jury and give a narrative about her side of the story.
All right, answering your questions live right here on Good Morning Arizona. Josh Kolsrud, thank you so much for joining us. And he's going to be back here on the 7 o'clock hour, Scott and Tess. We're going to talk about what is next for the prosecution, the defense, because this is the last day of testimony for this week, guys.
And of course, everybody's saying this is a waste of taxpayer dollars because she's already been convicted. But it's all about that day in court, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, justice for
it's all about the victims.
His family.
For Alex Cox's family.
Excuse
me, for Charles Vallow's family, excuse me. A lot of names involved in this. I apologize for that. All right.